Okay, so this is my book review section, um, playlist. And what I thought I would do in this short video is see if I could show you how I approach a book. Now, I know that sounds strange. Well, let me just say, first of all, I like reading the book, the hardbound book, paperback if I have to read, but I like to hold it in my hand and read. I am not, I do use, I should say, Kindle or any of the digital versions of books, mainly because they're usually cheaper. Some of them that are out of print you can find online, especially in the classics, you can find those things. But what we need to do is when I read a book, when I have a book like this is Methodical Bible Study. I just did a uh, series on how to study the Bible. Robert Traina is the author. Book was written, oh gosh, in 1950, I think, somewhere back in there. And I could use this as an illustration. I'll approach a book a certain way. First thing I'll do is lay it down on its spine and then take pages like this and run my hand down them to kind of like flatten out those pages. And I'll do them both ways, from the beginning to the end and the end to the beginning or to the middle, and do them all that way. If I had some B-roll, I could show you how to do that. But that basically keeps you from breaking this spine here. It keeps you from, when you fold a book backwards and bend the pages behind it. People like me, we have kind of a knee jerk response to that. It's almost like holding your kid wrong, or pulling his arm out of the socket type of thing. It's like, don't do that to the book. You will start to lose pages at some point. I will always read the back of the book. I'll always read the description that people have given. I know that publishers can put just the nice things up there, but then you also want to read the table of contents. You want to start to get an idea of what's in this book when I come across it. That's something that's very important to do when you're going to read a book, is read the table of contents, and then listen, read the preface, read the introduction. It's going to help you understand what's in this book. If you have the time and it's not too far out of your ability to do, read Mortimer Adler's How to Read a Book. Imagine someone actually wrote a book on how to read a book, and I'll venture that everybody who reads that book for the first time doesn't know how to read a book. And Adler tells you how to do it. I wish I could say that I practice everything that Adler says, but obviously I've been reading for a long time and developed some habits. But those are the things that I would say are a necessity for reading any book, whether it's hardbound or softbound. Okay, so here's a hardbound book. This is the back of it. It's an exegetical commentary. You could see this is on the epistle to the Ephesians. If I bring it back a little bit, you could read it clearer. Um, Here's the cover, and you could see it. Sorry, I'm backwards on the screen. So these are all things that I look for. Now this book probably sells for anywhere between $25 and $35. There's a whole commentary on it. I also have copies of this on my Bible software. I have the whole, or whatever has been published by Zondervan, on their exegetical commentary series. Now, I will not mark this book. To me, that's almost sacrilegious. Some people will do it. I have to confess that I used to do it, and I regret doing it. I have some first editions and some books that are out of print now that don't hold a value. Now, here's what I believe. The value of the book is in what the book says, obviously. I'm not a book salesman. I have tried to sell my books. I did sell some books when I was trying to get my library down to a manageable size. I sold some books that I didn't think I would ever get around to read, believe it or not. And I'm a fairly voracious reader. I usually have a book going. I do some studying, I use books to study. I find that there are some other things to do now you can do online to study, but I like to study from books. I like to read certain authors. I like to collect certain types of books. But, you find your way. If you're not a reader, you need to become one. Anyone who's going to have influence on another person's life needs to be informed. And I know there are so many ways to be informed today. YouTube informs most of our young people, if not most of our older people as well. Now, do I use YouTube? Absolutely. I have a YouTube channel. You're probably watching it right now. And it's for information. Some of it's for entertainment. Some of it's for things that are not worth your time to watch. But there's all kinds of things. Now, you can get some things, and I do. I admit that there are YouTube videos I watch. I watch debates. I watch lectures. Most of the time, I do use it for entertainment as well. If there's some things on there, as well as Netflix and whatever else is out there that shows TV shows. But when it comes to learning, for me, it's all about books. And I wish I could give you a panorama of my room right here. This is not filled with books like my study upstairs was at one time. I have one wall that is about 3/4 filled with books that I use most of the time. But over here to my left, there's another bookshelf that is a collection of books that I will read and continue to read. Again, they're books that I use most of the time, and if I can pull them off the shelf and get a quote from them, that would be it. That would be why I have them. Okay, so yeah, books are really important, and what I'm going to do with the next session is tell you what are the must-reads before I get into the ones that I would recommend, were books that I thought were the best book I read that year. But I want to give you some that are must-reads. These are books that if you haven't read them, then I think you're not informed the right way. And tell you some of the authors that I really like reading and the ones that I wish I read more of. Those would be there as well. So let's just wait for that one to come up.